shift our functions to another unit within the city through some kind of reorganization effort that would in fact lessen the city's ability to be effective in delivering housing.
I think it's fair to argue that that's a likely scenario. I think we both well know the previous major reorg that the city initiated. While certain responsibilities were delegated to other agencies, we lost a lot of that expertise because of some of the issues that you articulated right now, the seniority issue, various union issues. So, you know, the likelihood of retaining that level of expertise in an office of housing would be minimized.
Would be minimized, right? So let's just kind of just summarize here. So, as opposed to the existing situation with the city and how we're handling our housing issues, and with the proposed new housing office, just give me a quick summary. Is there an advantage to creating a new office of housing, or is it better to stay with the existing situation in terms of our ability to maximize our efforts in dealing with the housing issues in our local?
I think the mayor's position, or the administration's position right now, where, you know, housing is not a core function of the city, remains the same. I think, but that doesn't imply that we neglected this issue. I think the appointment of a special assistant on housing and the level of cooperating, the level of cooperation amongst the different agencies to which various responsibilities have been delegated is more than sufficient at this point in time, and that we don't need another agency to assume those responsibilities.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions for the department? If not, further discussion? Councilmember Terry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Fellow colleagues, thank you very much for those who have come to testify. And let me give you a little background to why I bring up the discussion about my viewpoints on this. When I was in the State Senate, I was chairman for government operations, procurement laws, and also housing, which dealt with the affordable housing. And very intense issue, very complex issue, quite frankly, with all the different federal laws, state laws involved. And I'm in favor conceptually in terms of this bill. And because there was questions out there in the community about affordable housing. Are we organized in terms of having a plan? And we've been going around in terms of discussing it, to be honest with you, for anybody in circles for a number of years. And I learned that when I was in the Senate 10 years ago, as a chairman for that committee, that it's not well planned out, quite frankly. Not well planned out in terms of the involvement from the federal government to the state to the counties. No one knows how they play their role in affordable housing. There's different formulas in terms of what is affordable housing. There's no communication among, in terms of the federal, the state, and the counties, collectively together for the needs of the people out there. As I analyzed it, I said, well, where's the structuring process bringing everybody together? And quite frankly, there is no structuring process. Then the question is, why the outcry right now for the city? Well, because there's nothing planned, quite frankly. There's nothing concrete. And in due respect to the administration, we in the City Council have been waiting for over 2 years for comprehensive policy on affordable housing. Yes, we do have a division within the Department of Community Services, but it's very confused as to what services they're providing. You ask anybody, nobody knows. So no wonder people are asking for this office of affordable housing. Even within my area downtown, we have affordable housing, be it Gateway, Marine Towers, and so forth. And as I talk to the people out there, they're very confused too, with different policies, respectively, in each complex of affordable housing. There's no consistency. And basically, is there a plan for the future of making more affordable housing? Are we doing it for in terms of rental or just selling? There's nothing concrete on that. So there's troubled times in terms of affordable housing. And if the Department of Community Service was to organize itself, quite frankly, and I'll be real blunt about it, and you know me, I come out direct and I say it, because we're troubled. If they were to come out and have more of a structure and process how to deal with this problem, then we wouldn't have this discussion today, right, when you think about it. It'd be very clear cut. As well known, many questions were asked by some of my colleagues. There's no clarity. The department has said yes in theory, but is there concreteness? What is your architectural plan, in other words? Okay. And we all know that why the Department of Housing was eliminated. It was because of the issue of ever housing. It was in terms of, say, questionable allegations and so forth. And the past mayor wanted to get rid of it. And I've had conversations with retirees of the department. They told me the idea behind it, and they know, was to get rid of the records, the files. You ask for those files today, they're gone. They're missing, quite frankly. There was an investigation previously by two former council members. And one of them happened to be former Councilman Ufi Hanneman, along with a colleague that I've known a number of years. Now she's in the Senate. Is Councilwoman Carl Kim. But what happened is, quite frankly, they opened them up too early. So all their sources who gave them information about wrongdoings of this department disappeared. Why? Because they were scared. That's the truth. They were scared. Right? They're part of the staffing of administration, so they hide. That's what happened. So naturally, if you don't plan it right in terms of an investigation, people are not going to give you any more information. But no, in closing, I'm in favor of this bill until the administration can have something more formally structured. And they can have, if they were to do tomorrow when we have this bill before us again, on a public hearing of executive committee, come up with a plan concretely on paper, what they do, and address the concerns of those who have spoken out today. I think there may be some satisfaction, quite frankly, but right now, there's no satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, members? Councilmember Okito.
Okay, let me just clarify some points. Number one, there isn't more homelessness out there because the city no longer has a housing department. Second point I want to clarify is that we didn't get out of the housing business. We got out of building, housing, and maintaining and managing affordable housing. Okay, the city has proven that we're not good at doing that, whereas the private sector has proven that they are very efficient at doing that. So the idea is for the city to incentivize the private people who know what to do. And that's a much more effective way, much more cost-effective. From my standpoint, the city has not gotten out of housing issues. In fact, I think today the city is dealing with housing issues in a greater and better way than we did when we had the housing department. So, number one issue for all of us is to deal with housing in the best way possible, to get the city to play its role in the most cost-efficient way, in the most efficient way. And from my assessment, just because you have a separate housing office or department will not improve the delivery, the city's delivery, or the way the city addresses housing in Honolulu. If you look at the situation, it might even be counterproductive to try and reorganize the city and create another unit. It may, in fact, even be more costly to do that without improving the city's ability to deliver on these housing issues. In fact, I firmly believe that will be the case because of union rules, bumping rules, and all of that. You're going to have to hire more staff. You're going to have less qualified people in these positions. I'm not against improving affordability